How far did Napoleon as First Consul, 1799, 1804, maintain the principles of the Revolution? Napoleon as First Consul, 1799, 1804, maintained many of the core socio-economic and administrative principles of the French Revolution, particularly equality before the law, the abolition of feudalism, careers open to talent, and religious toleration, while consolidating these gains through rational, centralized reforms. However, he significantly undermined the revolutionary ideals of liberty, especially political liberty and representative government, and popular sovereignty, by establishing an increasingly authoritarian regime that concentrated power in his own hands. Overall, Napoleon preserved and consolidated the bourgeois and anti-feudal achievements of 1789, 1794, but betrayed the more democratic and libertarian aspirations of the Revolution, effectively ending the revolutionary era by substituting personal rule for collective self-government. The most convincing evidence that Napoleon maintained revolutionary principles lies in his major domestic reforms, above all the Civil Code, promulgated in 1804, but largely drafted during the consulate. This code enshrined equality before the law for all male citizens, abolished remaining feudal privileges, and confirmed the revolutionary land settlement by protecting private property rights. It secularized marriage and divorce, removed privileges of birth, and promoted meritocracy, echoing the revolutionary slogan of careers open to talents. Historians often view the Napoleonic Code as the lasting institutionalization of 1789's legal equality and the end of ancient regime inconsistencies in law. Napoleon himself claimed, "I am the revolution," suggesting he saw his work as completing rather than destroying it. Other reforms reinforced this continuity. The Concordat of 1801 with the Pope ended the schism caused by the civil constitution of the clergy, restored Catholic worship as the religion of the majority, but maintained key revolutionary gains. The church's lands remained nationalized, bishops were appointed by the state, and religious toleration was upheld for Protestants and Jews. This pragmatic settlement healed religious divisions without restoring the church's pre-1789 wealth or political dominance. Administrative centralization through prefects, introduced 1800, rationalized local government, replacing the chaotic elected bodies of the Directory with efficient, appointed officials, building on the Revolution's departmental system while imposing order. Financial reforms, Bank of France, 1800, stabilization of currency, and the creation of lycées promoted merit-based education, further advancing equality of opportunity. However, Napoleon profoundly subverted the Revolution's political principles of liberty and popular sovereignty. His rise to power came via the coup of 18 Brumaire, 1799, a military-backed overthrow of the Directory, hardly a manifestation of popular will. The Constitution of Year VIII, 1799, created a facade of republicanism with 3 consuls, but real power rested with Napoleon as First Consul. He controlled legislation, appointed ministers, and dominated the plebiscites that rubber-stamped his rule, often with manipulated turnout and results. The legislative bodies, tribunate, legislative corps, senate, were emasculated, reduced to debating without initiating laws or to silent voting. By 1802, Napoleon engineered his appointment as First Consul for life via another plebiscite, and the 1804 Life Consulship Amendments paved the way for empire. These steps replaced representative government with plebiscitary dictatorship, contradicting the Revolution's emphasis on national assemblies and accountable power. Political liberty suffered further through press censorship, the use of police spies under Fauchet, and suppression of Jacobin and royalist opposition. While the Revolution itself had curtailed liberties during the Terror, the Directory had restored more open debate. Napoleon reversed this trend toward authoritarian control. Women's rights, briefly advanced in divorce laws, were curtailed under the Civil Code's patriarchal provisions, e.g., husbands' authority over wives, marking a retreat from radical egalitarian impulses. Historiographical debate reflects this balance. Some scholars, e.g., those emphasizing continuity, argue Napoleon consolidated the revolution by ending instability and spreading its legal administrative gains across Europe. Others see him as a betrayer who imposed military autocracy, ending the democratic experiment. A balanced judgment recognizes that Napoleon maintained the revolution's social and legal core, equality, secularism, anti-feudalism, but fundamentally betrayed its political ideals, liberty, fraternity through participation, sovereignty of the nation via representatives. In conclusion, Napoleon as First Consul maintained the principles of the revolution to a considerable extent in the spheres of law, administration, and social equality, creating a stable, modern state on revolutionary foundations. Yet he did so at the expense of political liberty and democratic participation, replacing revolutionary turmoil with personal authoritarianism. Thus, while he preserved and even perfected many socio-economic gains of 1789, he ended the revolution as a process of popular emancipation, marking a transition to a new form of autocracy cloaked in revolutionary rhetoric. To a significant degree, therefore, Napoleon did not fully maintain the principles of the revolution.